What's going on, guys? To Analyze Gaming, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the information that Blizzard released last night as far as the gearing system for PvP in Shadowlands Season 1. As we know, the season starts today. They finally disclosed kind of a full informational disclosure of how the Conquest is going to be working in Season 1, which actually has changed a lot of my opinions about things. So in this video, I'm just going to be talking about those changes and things I think that we should be doing to help us obtain the best gear and really get ready for season 1. So let's jump into it. All right, guys. So the first thing that I really want to talk about that's actually like the most important thing is that a lot of us, when we heard that the cap for 550 Conquest in season 1 increasing by 550 each week, kind of assumed that by getting 550 the first week, the next week you'd be able to get 1100 Conquest. And the week after that, 1650 Conquest. Meaning that by week 3, you were pretty much buying at least 2 Conquest pieces each cap, which that's not how the Conquest system is going to work. Blizzard disclosed that there's essentially an overall pool of Conquest that everyone can get throughout the season, and that pool is pulled from each week. And as you continue to get Conquest, you'll continue to get portions of that maximum pool of Conquest. So essentially, in this example, it shows if you get your 550 Conquest week 1, if you cap, then in the next week you'll get another 550. But if you don't get any of your Conquest week 1, then in the next week you'd be able to get up to 1100 Conquest. So that'll be good for alts. If you're wanting to play multiple classes kind of later on down in the season, then you're going to be able to log on, get them geared up through Honor, and then spam rated PvP pretty much until you're caught up with everyone else on the Conquest. The really big disadvantage of this, though, is that it now separates just full-hearted PvP players from PvE players, similar to how BFA was. I'm a little disappointed about that because what I believe you're going to be seeing is a lot of people that are diehard Mythic Plus runners getting their gear a lot quicker now than people that just solely PvP. But despite that, I think that the weekly vault system for PvP is still a lot better. I think that if you're maintaining an 1800 rating, getting to choose between one of 3 220 item level pieces of gear each week is still pretty good. Honestly, that's probably going to be your best way of getting your high-end PvP gear, at least until you have your weapon, which is something else that has changed. So Blizzard announced that they're actually going to be removing the 5,000 conquest point requirement to get your weapon. That's nice, especially if we're only getting 550 a week. Essentially, that would mean that we would be waiting 10 weeks to get a weapon. So I know that that's changed my approach on gearing. I'm probably going to be saving up my conquest for my weapon first, which means that you're going to be waiting pretty much a month or 4 weeks to get your weapon. But hopefully in that time, the weekly vault will be getting us good PvP gear to choose from. But that also kind of puts the question out there that do we need to run Mythic Plus to be able to PvP? And I think the unfortunate answer, if you're wanting to really do good for the first 6 weeks of the PvP season, then yeah, you're going to have to run Mythic Pluses. Blizzard disclosed that the first week cap for Mythic Pluses is going to be Mythic 10, meaning that at the end of the dungeon, you have your chance of getting a 203 item level piece of gear. So, if you're running Mythic dungeons, I would suggest just running the ones that really have the haste burst gear. And if you're Affliction, you're going to be trying to run the other side for your Rolling Agony conduit to get the higher ranked version of that so that your Agony has a much higher uptime. If you're Destruction, then you're going to be running Sanguine Depths for a higher version of the conduit that makes your Chaos Bolts and Incinerate do more damage to people with your Emulate on them. And other than that, kind of like it was with Mythic Zeros, you're going to be wanting to snipe certain dungeons for certain pieces of haste burst gear. To my knowledge, Halls of Atonement don't have any of Haste First gear. Um, Neither does Sanguine Depths, but again, it has the Conduit. So you're really going to want to be focusing on this one, the Miss of Turn of Scythe. That drops 2 Haste First pieces. Theater of Pain has some good pieces. I believe there's a piece or two from Spires of Ascension. Plaguefall has some good gear. I think Necrotic Wake drops a ring that's actually one of the best in slot for us. It's either Necrotic Wake or Plaguefall. I can't remember. But I know it drops off the first boss. So, with that in mind, only one person's getting loot at the end of a Mythic dungeon. So you're rolling on a 20% chance to pretty much get your Mythic gear. But the people that are diehard PvEers are absolutely going to be getting those, and they're going to have a lot more gear a lot quicker than everyone that just solely gears through PvP. So my suggestions for gearing, guys, as the season rolls out is, finish upgrading your honor gear. If it's rank 3, make sure all of it's rank 5. And then make sure that you're at least getting the 550 conquest for the week, as well as trying to get that 1800 rating so that your weekly vault gives you a really nice piece of gear. And then start spamming mythic dungeons. Look for the dungeons that are going to be dropping the best haste first gear for you. And other than that, we'll kind of just have to play and see how it ends up working out with the new conquest system that Shadowlands is bringing. So, anyways, guys, that's kind of just my thoughts about the new conquest system. Thought I would share my 2 cents about it. I don't really know how I feel about it. I mean, it's kind of for me, it's a little bit with that pool to pull from. It's a little bit too much like BFA, but I think the weekly vault system is going to be a lot better. And I think that once you can at least get your weapon, then you're going to be getting conquest gear at least a lot quicker. So there is that. But thanks, guys, for watching, and hopefully this little bit of information helps you out as we start to try to gear in Season 1 of Shadowlands. Catch you on the next one.